Yes, boys.
We're going straight in, guys. As Sanouske said, there's some spice, and I'm looking forward to this. We're gonna go immediately in the game. We're gonna have Aki versus Zero, so Aki's on top, and Zero is on the bottom. Melodious on top, and I do think Thunder Dragon on the bottom. 30 cards, that makes sense. And yes, guys, as you can see, Sanouske is going to be the co-caster for today as well. Hello, mate.
Oh, did Melodious literally just pass turn 1?
Yeah. I do think he could have... I do think he has a hand trap normally, because Melodious do have one for battle? I don't know.
They need a monster on the field for that to be relevant.
Oh!
Oh, it's Triff?
There's still one?
Like the Melodious hand trap, they need a Melodious monster on the field for it to... Is this Melodious? Or what are we looking at here?
Good question. It is still possible to see Melodious with another skill, actually. Else, I'm wondering if there's not like Master of Fusion with Yuzu, and if that's the case, then it could be Lunalight. I just remember... Oh, so I was about to say that I remember YGL being a team that often used Lunalight, so we could get to see Lunalight right now.
Well, we'll see. I just saw Zuzu and I lit up thinking, oh, it's for sure Melodious, but...
It can be. Maybe there's a skill, I don't know. We'll have to see.
He's thinking pretty hard about this turn, though.
Alright, again, thank you very much, guys, but let me just fix that. Alright, week 6. Let's go. So setting another card again on the side of Aki, which really makes me think it's going to be Lunalight by the way he's playing. And also, wait a second, there's the Twitch chat on the other channel. Let me just... hide that. You guys saw nothing? Dude, I almost forgot to change the stuff in the overlay. But that's fine now. Should be fixed, and thank you very much for the follow, Linka. So the field is looking fine on the side of Zero. He's getting the plays, and I do think now he has the good graveyard. If I do check it, he does have indeed enough monsters. Light and dark.
Alright, Lunalight.
That is indeed Lunalight.
That is the biggest tease I have seen in a while.
I can understand, yeah. Which makes me also wonder what skill it is, because there was no skill activated at the beginning of this turn, and also at the beginning of the duel.
I forget her skills. The only one I've ever really paid attention to are the skills that relate to the Melodious monsters. So I can't remember her generic skills.
Yeah. I do know that she mainly... I mean, I do guess she has Master of Fusion. Otherwise, I guess we can try to check these skills from her before the next duel. We could do that as well to sort of guess, in case we don't see it. Right, he does get to the 1 Fusion right now, and we saw that he has the Crimson Fox. But that's going to be a null or nothing for Ak in this situation, because there's 4 cards in hand of Zoro, although 2 of them are known. It's the Vanilla Thunder Dragon. I don't know if there's another card that we got to see from Zoro, but to me there's 2 cards I don't know from it.
I think you're right. I think going in defense, I kind of think you need to go for it here.
Yeah, I will have second with that. The thing is, he has a Crimson Fox, so in case the opponent tried to target the fusion monster, he will have been still fine, but maybe he thought that there was a Sphere Karibo.
I mean, honestly, for a game, the Thunder Dragon player just needs a level 6 tribute go into M7, and I only see one card in Zuzu's hand. Unless it's a Kyra, he's pretty boned.
Yeah, if it doesn't have a Kytra, then that's pretty much going to be over for Aki.
He might not have the level 6, though. Oh, he's gonna go into one of the level 5s.
Ooh.
Which one's he playing?
So, going
right.
for the Volcasaurus here. This makes me wonder that he really should have gone face to face, I guess.
I mean, even if he got Spear Karibo, he'd still be in defense, and at least he would have gone for it.
Exactly. The thing is, if he does, for example, the first attack and the damage lands, he is going to trigger Allured by Darkness, for example, if that's the... I do think that's the skill that Zoe is playing, just by seeing the build of his. So in that case, he will be drawing 2 cards, banishes 1, and it just allows him to accelerate and maybe push even more by getting a potential Levianeer. And I do think if that was the case, that would be it. And Master of Fusion is going to be revealed itself.
How many of the boxes does he have left?
Now he has to go for the Cat Dancer.
Did he seriously fuse off his Cat Dancer on the field?
Yes.
I'm a little confused by what's going on here. I'm not a Lunalite expert, but this doesn't seem the way you want to win this game.
Yeah, the thing is, I guess he's trying to tempo, although the best for him is to ideally get the fusion from Lunalite. And if he gets that, he's going to be able to go for a very easy fusion because there's an Xyz on the field. But let's see, he's gonna go for Hawk. And I don't know if he's gonna go for an Xyz setup. He goes again for an Xyz setup. 2 level 5s again on the field.
He plays that one too. Honduras.
So going for the address, which is gonna destroy the level 7 and no more hand charms. That's gonna be the end.
Like, I know Lunalite's kind of a passive deck a lot of the times, but when you don't have anything in your hand, I think you just kind of gotta go for it.
Yeah, I do think it's better, even if it's like risky indeed to provoke a potential Allured by Darkness. Lunalite doesn't really have a choice, but sometimes to just go for it.
Like, especially like if you don't have D-Draw. Like, This was Master Fusion, you don't have like a consistency skill. Oop, a repeat has been announced in the chat.
Alright, sounds good.
I'm guessing they had a Harpies deck behind this.
Yeah, that will be indeed the next deck that they have.
Well, actually, wait a second.
Yeah?
That still makes a little bit of sense.
I mean, actually it does. I think even if you repeat Lunalite against Thunder Dragons, which calls on to be risky, I do think Lunalite has a lot of chances. The thing is, to me, Thunder Dragon, it has to do a good lethal, or like have a good setup for that, else I don't really see them being able to win. So let's see what's gonna happen.
Like, strategy-wise, in my eyes though, like, I think you only want to repeat a deck that has like a clear favorable matchup.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Like, I don't think Lunalite has that clear favorable matchup.
Oof. Only Thunder Dragon Dark on the side of Zool. But Aki also passed the turn again, so let's see. I mean, maybe Aki has the hand trap so he can take the time. We've seen on the previous duel that he had try for 3 subs, so maybe he has it again?
I mean, for him just to do nothing, he has to have a hand trap.
For sure.
Otherwise, he is set for his life.
Ooh. Oda has Advanced Dragon.
I've been seeing that a lot in, I'd say, a majority of the Thunder Dragon decks this weekend.
Yeah, I started to see this card as well.
It is very good. It's an out to a lot of things.
Ooh, going for the Zombie Stein, trying to go for lethal. And there's going to be still a Sphere Karibo. Though, one thing that is still good. Let me see. Can he? The thing is, he's in defense, right? Yeah,
Yep.
he cannot negate because the card is in defense, so the Zombie Stein here is going to be useless right now. And that's going to be a successful attack because I see Thunder Dragon being discarded. That's not really that if you want Rice Cruise. That was just to try to play around the hand traps, I'd say. But yeah, I guess he could have done something different. Although if you go for the Master of Fusion, it could have been also dangerous. In case you don't have hand traps, you attack, and you give Master of Fusion, and if Heke has like all the cards needed to do the fusion, then that could have been lethal. That's the kind of thing you have to know. Alright, another Sphere Karibo, which is gonna stop the Thunder Dragon duo here.
So we also seen the Lunalight player play Triff. I wonder how many total hand traps he's playing. Like, I think they normally play, what, like 4 or 5?
Yeah, 4 or 5 indeed.
So Lunalight is starting to run out of them hand traps.
Normal summoning Martin. Now, one thing that is going to be nice for him is he can go, yes, exactly, going for the Tiger King, which is going to allow him to get the Tenki, and that's always a +1 card in hand.
And a +2 if you consider deck thinning.
Exactly. Instant Sphere Karibo here. And effect negated, that is due to Tiger King. Tiger King basically allows to have only Beast Warriors to have their effects activated, and any other kind of monster, any other type of monster cannot use their effect, hence why Dragon Duo cannot send back the Dragon Dog in the deck. Tribute summon searches by the Dragon Duo.
Does he have another Hawk in hand? He could be going for game here.
Yeah, else he can search the Hawk with the Dragon Dork, which he has banished.
He's gonna go for it then.
Yeah,
He's like, this guy's gotta be running out of hand traps.
for sure.
I wonder if he's gonna stay wide or if he's gonna go into like M7 or something to banish the... I think you just stay wide here.
Yeah, there's a risk that if he goes for the M7 and if there's again another hand trap on the side of Aki, then that's gonna be sort of over because Aki can go for an infusion in an easy way, and that will be lethal. So he's going still for M7, but searches his Sphere Karibo.
Ooh, that's actually really good.
Very patient here. That's a good play.
I've seen lots of Thunder Dragon players be doing this against Lunalites.
Yep. And he's also gonna land the damage, so Anki could use Master of Fusion if he wants. But if he has enough materials, I don't think there's any need to use the skill yet. Alright, normal summons Emerald Bird. Gonna discard that Martin, and now he gets the Lunalite Fusion.
I mean, Lunalites is in a losing position, I feel, here, though.
Yeah.
Like, knowing that there's a Sphere Karibo in hand, I mean, you're gonna have to attack eventually. And you know that attack isn't gonna go through.
Come to think, because we know he has an access to Master of Fusion, he can do 2 fusions this turn. So that's...
But
I don't think it's really over, but he needs to have a Crimson Fox sent to the grave.
he's using the Lunalite fusion here, though, so I mean, that already locks him into that fusion this turn, no?
Let me check that out.
You can only activate...
Oh yeah, if you talk about the card itself, it's only once per turn. That's for sure.
You can still poly.
Exactly, and because he has the Master of Fusion, he will be able normally to go for another fusion. Yes, indeed, goes for the Master of Fusion right now. But who does he go for? Oh my god, he also has a 10 key. Jesus. I just wonder if he does have all the Crimson Foxes in the grave. I know there was one, but I don't know for the other one. Maybe it's in the deck. Or in hand.
There's just one in the graveyard.
Yeah, there's only one in the graveyard.
He just sent the Crimson Fox for this one.
Oh my god, is this gonna be lethal though? This is actually a good setup here. This will work if there's only one Sphere Crew, but this setup is going to work. I do think there's no delay. The attack is gonna land, and that's gonna be a comeback here. Very well played. That was very good to see. Holy. That was nuts, actually.
I wasn't expecting him to be able to do the 2 Luna fusions.
Yeah. The thing is, because he got the skill, I was like, at some point he's gonna be able to go for the fusion, but the question is, can he get the Lunalite fusion? Like, what he mainly needed was a way to get this card. And if that's the case, then he will be able to go for such kind of setup. And Yo, Sky Blue, I'm doing good. What about you, brother? The chat is always buzzy, that's what you know. You always have to know that people, they join the chat and they're like, we want to listen or watch the game. That's what we're here for. So if they want to talk, they can. If not, you know, that's the people for you.
So now we have I mean, this is usually what Lunalites is sent for, to counter this deck, Harpies.
Yes, indeed.
So YGO may be in an advantageous position right here, depending on the Harpy build. I mean, the Harpies can be built, like, especially if they have Thunder Spark and Hysteric Party,
Yes.
where they can deal with all this stuff. I don't really agree with them going slash turn 1 right here, though.
Yeah. They're gonna need to have a good setup for that, though. So here comes the risk. He's gonna get the cards back.
Oh, this is turn 2. That turn 1 pass was so fast. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, exactly. Sphere Creeper coming by, but it's gonna be so far useless. Let's see though. Okay, so I didn't expect that Bazoo doesn't want to bounce his Synchro yet.
Does he have 2 Swallow's Nest? Without 2 Swallow's Nest, that first one was a waste.
Yeah, and there's the second one. Oh my god. That's a dirty lethal, but that's the lethal that Harpies love to do. So that's gonna be 2-1 here. And Aki is going to be out though. I'm sorry, no, that's 1 here.
That's the other thing Harpies can do to Lunalight sometimes.
That
I
is
just
true.
draw all my mass changes.
Actually, I think Lunalight losing here against Harpy like that, I do think it is going to hurt. Because most of the times Lunalight do have the field against Harpy. And I do think also that the hand from Harpy was like something you don't get most of the time. Like the two how is it called? Swallow's Nest. That's something you don't get often, especially when the opponent has like no hand trap.
Yeah, I mean, every time I get one of those hands when I'm playing Harpies versus Lunalight, it always seems like, oh, I have 3 Sphere Karibos. Yay.
That's true. Well, so now we're just going to wait for the next player on the side of YGO. Oh,
Ooh,
well,
that must be
immediately
that must
here.
be an icon from the new.
Yes,
I love those
exactly.
icons.
So, KCGT icon. I do believe he reached top 32 to get this icon, if I remember correctly. Alright, so both players ready. We're gonna go straight back in. And let's see what's going to be the deck they sent. So Yami Yugi on top.
I wonder if this isn't another Lunalight.
Yeah. If it is YGL, I do think there's a possibility they can send the second. Especially when you see 20 cards. And they do get the first turn actually.
Oh my goodness, it is Lunalights. Nyx, I blame you.
That's not even Nyx's fault, I'm gonna be honest. That's YGL, they just love the deck.
I'm still gonna blame Nyx. He won the MCS. I mean, all good on him. He earned it, but I'm still blaming you, buddy. And I'm sure he'd take that with the badge of honor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Although I do think I can respect the people that went with Lunalight for the MCS, because I think Harpy was like such a callable deck that not sending Lunalight will have been wrong in my opinion. Or maybe another counter to Harpy if you have one, but Lunalight was definitely a good call, and I mean it paid off.
Yo. You definitely can't blame him for putting Lunalight out here. Is he popping his own back row here? Is that a sign?
Ooh,
it is a sign.
Wait, I actually just realized that was a 30 card deck? Oh my god.
I just noticed that too, and he drew 2 Swallow's Nest last game.
That's crazy. And if the last duel was a 30 card deck and he got like 2 Swallow's Nest, I think that was insane luck, and I just realized that no. Oh my Jesus. So now, due to Historic Sign, he gets 3 Harpies.
30 card Harpies matchup into Lunalights actually isn't that bad because they're usually playing multiple of the Hysteric Party.
Yes, exactly.
And they can get over, like, they can get over the Saber Dancer, especially if they're able to keep the Harpy's hunting ground on the field.
Exact.
Like Slash and Double Harpy 1, that'll get over all this. With the field spell, of course.
MHC finals, baby. True VP. I was happy to see Goomba actually in the finals. Alright, so destroying another Hysteric sign here. Zero's hand is gonna get pretty big, 6 cards and 7.
We know 6 of them too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, indeed. 6 cards that we know from him. But because they're like a long list of harpies, I'm like, I don't care. Alright, so he's gonna destroy his own field spell. Alright, let's watch why. Discarding the harpies, of course.
He's using up his Harpy 1s. I wonder if his strategy to win this game is using Hysteric Party. Or he just might be Thunder Sparking right here.
Yeah.
Because if you're using all of your Harpy 1s right here, you're definitely not looking to get over the Saber Dancer. So he's just going to hope Thunder Spark carries him to victory. But he can't even attack this turn because of Yami Yugi.
Exactly. So going for the Feather Rest right now to get back the Harpy Lady ones. And he also targets the Oracle. And that's going to be an end turn.
30 card Harpies is crazy with all their searching once they start popping off.
Exactly. The strength of a 30 card deck is, as you mentioned, once they start searching cards and get like resources back, it is a deck that is not that simple to stop. Alright, so passing a turn again on the side of Kami. I don't think he's going to be able to make an Xyz because the Channeler is level 7, and I do think that is due to having a dragon on the field.
I was looking at that and I was like, it is because of the dragon on the field. I was like, the heck?
Yeah. I don't think he expected
that. You don't see that come up too often.
Yeah. And triggers at least the Sphere Kuribo should be a little bit fine, I guess.
I mean, that's the one you want, a Sphere Kuribo. That keeps your damage at 0 because you know he's not going to attack with the Thunder Spark.
Exactly. And there's also a possibility that we could get to, and no, he's going to pass the turn again, Kami. I was saying that if he goes for the fusion, I do think that will have been lethal against the Thunder Spark Dragon. Alright, so Nozuo is gonna force with the attacks.
Kami could be in some trouble here if there's some Swallow's nests.
Yes, indeed. Alright, so here Kuribo. And no, that's gonna be past turn.
He doesn't have Swallow's Nest, I don't think. Or he felt another Sphere Kuribo delay. One or the other. Ooh, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. If Kami can't fuse, he might be in trouble, no?
Yeah, 100%. He really needs a fusion of that state.
There is only the Sphere Kuribo, oh no, 2 Sphere Kuribos in his graveyard.
Yeah.
So he's got maximum 1 sphere Karibo. I mean, and then they either play Triff or Temperance most of the time for other hand traps.
Exactly. I do think potentially a try for 3 subs in that case. But he will run out of hand traps, and due to the Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, it's going to be imposing. Because that also means he's going to need Saber Dancers most of the time to try to bypass some of the units here. And hello, Safe. How are you doing? If he wants, no. I was thinking he could like get the rabbit back in hand, but I do think it's better not. And yeah, he's gonna go for the fusion here.
Ultimate Providence. Oh my
goodness. Oh my god. Ultimate Providence as well.
So now Kami's down to 1 card, and yeah, I was like, I don't see him winning this game.
Yeah. There was a big card lead here, and this makes me think that he could use the last repeat against. So I do have the impression they could. Yeah. I do think they're going for the second deck. Oh, you mean Sphere Karibo? I mean, yeah. I mean, depends on the deck though. Alright, let's just jump into the next duel.
I do find it interesting that they wanted to repeat Lunalights and the Thunder Dragons and not into... I mean, they obviously want to save their repeat for later, but opting for a coin flip mirror is kind of monk-ass.
Yeah. It's very hard because like it depended on like what was the second deck of Aki, which could maybe mean that it was the Harpy. But who knows?
Yeah.
Alright, first turn, only 1 summon but 2 got set, and of course the 2 field spells being destroyed.
I think Zoe is debating on using one of his back row here. I don't think there'd be any...
Oh my goodness, another Ultimate Providence coming through.
Like, he shouldn't be debating too much if one of those is Ultimate Providence.
Yeah, that for sure. If you have the counter trap, it will be taking your time for sure. But maybe he wanted to have the opponent use a solo nest, and let's say he summons the Perfumer, and then use the Ultimate Providence. Okay.
True.
Alright, so now he's getting the setup on his side with the Channeler. Searching for the Agonis. Yeah, he's looking for lethal here, and I do think that is about to begin.
Yeah, if he just fuses using the Harpy 1 and the Perfumer, it's 26 and 14.
Yeah.
Well, this works too.
Actually, you want to keep
it was game either way.
The number 1.
It was game either way.
Yeah. The counter trap here for the carry, that's gonna be another point for Zuo.
Zuo's definitely streaking here. This 30 card Harpies, I mean, when 30 card Harpies draws well, it's so insane.
That is true. My Fantasy League Cali. Kick the W class, bro. But yeah, sometimes it do be like that when it comes to hand. Maybe he could have tried to read the counter trap, but I mean, it's not that simple in a 30 card deck. With, for example, decks like Blue Eyes, which you know they're running 20 cards, you could read counter traps way easier because you know that it will eventually have it. But on a 30 card deck, that's another kind of thing. That's way harder.
Yeah, especially when they play like 30 card harpies, they play Raigeki breaks, they play karma cuts, stuff like that, along with the counter traps.
Exactly.
I suppose Blue Eyes plays those too, but like you said, 20 cards is a lot more consistent than 30 cards getting them.
Yeah, getting the counter traps on a Blue Eyes, I do think it's way easier than a Harpy 30 card. That's for sure. Alright, since I'm waiting for the next play, I was thinking back, you know, since we were talking about speedruns, I am thinking there's still so many runs I have to see that I haven't yet seen from Games Done Quick, and I'm like, I'm very late. I'm very late. Like, there's always some fun runs to watch, especially blindfolds.
I love watching the blindfold runs. Like, those guys are so good that do those blindfold runs. It's like even just the blind menus where, you know, there's so many inputs that you have to do.
Yes.
Or just realizing where you are on the map, you know, based on the sounds you're hearing.
Yeah, it's really a next level speedrun.
Yeah, that takes a lot of knowledge of the game.
Yeah, a lot of knowledge and a lot of practice. It's very insane. And of course, another thing to know is that not all games can be run blindfolded. There's of course going to be a limit in which ones you can do, because some of them are, for example, too hard, being action based or like strategy wise. You know, it depends on the kind of game, but some of them are just too hard for blindfold.
I can definitely see that.
Alright, so we have a Blue Eyes, which we talked about before, but it's on the side of Mellow. It's interesting they send the Blue Eyes against it, because against a 30 card version I do think it can be risky. We have to mention that there are some potential karma cuts on the side of RP, and if there's anything of that, it's going to be a big impact for the Blue Eyes player.
Yes.
Alright, so starting off with the card of consonants.
Mellow's a true gamer. Cards of consonants and stone.
Exactly. Always have cards of consonants. And summon Sage, of course.
See, true gamer. Ooh, and he's just going straight for the
And there's
Blue Eyes.
no timing as well. There was no timing right now. That went smooth. And it's not gonna banish. But no, it's gonna be F4 Trapple. Hiya. We're gonna get to see a lot of traps from Zero. Sheesh. But the Blue Eyes is still gonna use special summon. Yeah. So I think this Blue Eyes is gonna pass through, yes indeed, and this is going to be the other Blue Eyes that is going to come on because of the stone. So it's not done yet. It really depends on the set that Mellow has. If it is a Karma Cut, I do think that is it for Zuo. Unless he had like a as well as Nets for some reason.
There was, like you said earlier, there was like no delay until the Void went, so I don't think that other set's I don't think it's the Swallows. But we know he has the Harpy's Hunting Ground in his hand, so it depends on his top deck and his last card in hand.
For sure. Normal summons the Harpy is gonna force the back row. So there's the lane fact, and that's gonna be a Karma Cut, discarding the stone. And it's gonna land.
It looks like Blue Eyes just wins.
Yep. Unless there's Drowning Mirror Force. My
For some
god.
reason, just drowning, random drowning.
Yeah, no drowning, and that's gonna be 3 Blue Eyes on the field. GG. So 2 for YGO, 4 for Stellar Trace, which are actually in a very good pace right now.
Yeah, 4-2, like especially out of your opener, that is so good. Like you just hoping your opener goes 2-2 so you get the counter pick advantage, but Zoe took out 2 players from YGO. That's like above and beyond out of the starter.
Yeah, especially players that do have Lunalight, which generally you send it for counter. Like getting rid of Lunalight is going to change a lot the state of the war.
I am hoping we see a certain deck out of Stellar Trace.
Yeah.
It's very good against Blue Eyes. Do you have the spice, Stellar Trace? Do you have it? Now's the time.
We'll see. Honestly, one spice I have in mind against Blue Eyes that I know is good, which I often play the deck against, is Yosenju.
That's not what I was thinking of, but I'd respect that too. I'm hoping for Melodious here.
Yeah, I was thinking you would mention Melodious here. To me, Melodious against Blue Eyes, I do think there's like a specific fusion that does carry them. No, Shiberta still does like the good job of, you know, banishing cards from the grave, and she's very good at that. But yeah, no, definitively, I think Melodious will be a good pick.
It's the bloom. It's the bloom that the Blue Eyes can't deal with.
Exactly, the bloom.
Like literally, if the Blue Eyes can't Karma Cut it, there's like 0 out to it. Like,
yeah, for sure. They do need to get rid somehow of the fusion as soon as possible.
they are taking their time here, though, picking which deck.
Yeah,
I suppose they do want to be careful here. Like, as long as they're able to, you know, kind of nurse this lead through the rest of the match, they should. I mean, they're in very good position to come out with the W.
exact. I do think they do good to take time because there's always no rush, especially when you have 4 remaining players. I do think Blue Eyes still loses sometimes against Harpy, and I do think it's like a bad opener what the Harpy had, so they call in the second Harpy if they want. That can be a possibility.
Well, I mean, honestly, like, there aren't too many, like, counters to Blue Eyes. I mean, most of the time, Blue Eyes counters itself.
True.
Like, when you get those 3 Blue Eyes, 3 Cards of Consonance Blue Eyes hands, I mean, you just kind of sit and cry.
That is true. And we're just gonna go in the next game. Ziwo is going to be in the table.
Looks like this one's gonna kick us out, probably.
Yes, exactly. The infamous glitch from Duel Links.
We did get in, but I wonder if it's just gonna DC right away.
Yeah, we'll have to see. So water is going to be the pick they went for. That's indeed the DC. Yep. My god. Konami not fixing this after many years, by the way, for those who want to know. And they did change the position actually between the two, so...
They probably got kicked off the table when they came back.
Yep. So Melo is going to be on the bottom this time. Ziwo is going to be on top. Let's go right in. And the first one is also going to go for Melo. So in this kind of matchup, I do think Water wants to be first turn most of the time. So them going second turn isn't that ideal.
Yeah, this time it's... This time it's a DC. A card was played.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt a lot. That's gonna be a DC that counts. So that means
Yep.
normally it should be a point for Mellow. And that one hurts.
DCs are always so unfortunate to see in matches.
Yeah, some of them can be like insanely impactful and just change a lot of stuff within the duel. Keep her putting a microwave emote in the chat, which is sadly true. That's a microwave moment we got to see.
Like, I'm guessing Mimi, the referee, is just gonna take a peek at the replays here, though, real quick.
Yeah.
But I mean, a card was played, so it wasn't a glitch.
Exactly. So for now, we're just going to be, as Sanouske said, waiting for the decision of the referee. And when we got information, we can wait and watch the next duel.
Stellar Trace is announcing that repeat.
I thought so. That DC forces them pretty much to go for the next one. I mean, for the next repeat. And they also started. Let me just launch the duel.
Man, after such a nice start, that DCs can kill your momentum so hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Duel?
And first turn goes again for Melo. Opens Deva, which is very dangerous since he's using the effect right now. But so far it is passing by. He's able to play. So he does get the Deva, gets the infantry as well.
Hopefully we get to see what kind of back row this Blue Eyes is playing. I mean, there was no counter trap. We would have definitely seen a counter trap, but does he have the Karma Cut?
That's what it is sometimes, Sakura. The thing is, they're still fine because there's like 1 point lead for ST, so they can get a backup, but then they have to carry the rest of the other wars. So let's see though. For now, what they have to do is try to deal against the potential karma cards and counter traps. From the looks of it, I don't have the impression he has a Forbidden Lance on the side of Zewu. And if that's the case, it's not going to be easy to pass against Melo.
I wonder who the decision is on right now. Like, is it?
I do think
Like,
the
is it on the-
decision is on the side of Zewu. No, that was oh my god, that was actually from Melo. Okay, Instant
took a
karma
long
card.
time to his hand is not good if he's discarding that.
yeah, that is going to be. Oh my
he
god!
top decked the
No.
stone. Oh, not
Wait.
the stone we wanted, but a stone.
It's still gonna be good. He gets to do some stuff, gets to draw 2 cards, and also gets the Sage.
That's probably what he was sitting like. He's like, well, man, this is it. This is my only defense. Do I do it now?
True.
Looks like he's just going straight beat down here.
And not going for the other blue eyes, which will mean he has it in hand as well. And this time I don't skip the animation. Just for once for the blue eyes fans, by the way. Just once. Oof, that's gonna be a floodgate. There's a way for Ziwa to win actually.
A true gamer, another diva.
He's gonna go very control here, but I think due to the setup he's going for, he must go for the Hope Woven, I believe. Unless he's able to go for like 2 Abyss Dweller, which will be fine, because if that's the case, he will have 2 monsters with 2700 attack, because Abyss Dweller, if you have water monsters as overlay, your monster gains 500 attack.
I mean, if he has another monster in his hand, he does have the whatchamacallit on the field for another summon, so he can get, like, especially if it's Angler, I believe, is the only other level 4 they play.
Yeah, exactly. He really needs an Angler in hand to be able to go for as much XCs as possible on the field.
There's Abyss.
No.
I mean, that Blue Eyes is floodgated, so it's not a threat right now.
Yes.
And it does look like he has a fistful of monsters. So if Mello doesn't have any back row here, I think Water just kind of wins here, goes full beatdown mode next turn.
He's gonna need that for sure. Another set card is going to be on the side of Mello. And he gets the Marksman. And
Probably
goes
just gonna
now for
double
the other
Abyss
Abyss Dweller.
here. Yeah, this is looking really good for Water. I kind of think he just runs over everything here and saves all of his material. Like, he can discard a diva from each of them, but I would save the Marksman and the Atlantean, or both of the Atlantean cards on both of them.
Exactly. What he needs to do is save these Atlanteans, and just needs to discard the Diva to negate the effect so they can't be activated in the grave. So he's gonna go for the Marksman, fair enough.
I think that's a little greedy.
Yeah, but
Why not attack if you're gonna...
okay,
That
that's something I'm
confuses
very
me.
curious, because I did think he could have gone attack twice, save the materials, for example, then use the effect of Abyss Dweller by discarding the Diva. This will block the effect from a potential stone. He had enough attack to destroy the monster in defense as well. 2 stones on the field. Alright, goes for the Abyss Dweller, which is gonna destroy one of the stones. And the alternative is also gonna come on the field.
If that... Not clearing that stone might turn out to be a huge misplay here, because I think he's going for Vermilion.
Yeah. Or Spirit Dragon, he's taking the time.
Yeah, I mean, he literally lost his whole field because he didn't attack that face down.
Yeah. He had all the control to block most of the plays. He had a very nice field with the 2 Abyss Dweller, but the fact that he didn't control well with the Abyss Dweller is going to be pretty important here. Alright, so going for the Hope Woven here. And Melo's spirit is going to be chaining.
Honestly, he's out of skills too, isn't he? He's out of. I
Yeah,
believe he's already used air. I think water loses.
unless he goes for like the synchro, which sort of will be his last hope. I do think he has it very difficult here. Unless he's like playing droning maybe in his deck list or something of that sort, I do think Melo is going to win this one instead. And the alternative also comes by.
Like, and honestly, like, Water had all the control in the match too if he just would have cleared that extra egg.
Exactly. If he cleared everything, also just by attacking, like, there was no use of using any overlay because, as you know, he could have like saved the Atlantean to destroy a phase on card. And the Heliopolis is also going to do all the job, destroying all the cards on the field, and that is going to be game.
And that actually ties it back up.
Yes, exactly. Getting back up with 4 points. So reaching out Stellar Trace.
I wonder if that DC kind of shook Stellar Trace a little bit there.
I will say yes, because any DC, most of the time it could like discourage the team or like your players, because you will be like, that is a sad thing to happen, so how will we do this? Do we want to repeat or not? So I do think you will be pressured at that point. But they still can get back up because it's a 4-4. We never know. And now they're going to be sitting another water.
They really need to 30 cards.
It's gonna be Crystron. Oh my god. I can't believe. I was thinking because I remember Salatrace do send at some point some Crystron, at least once.
I'm not gonna lie, it's been long enough since I've seen Crystron where I fox with it.
Yeah, that is true. Alright, so I'm not using the skill to make an Abyss Dweller. Although it's gonna be nice to have an Abyss Dweller to go for the control. And does get 2 set cards on the field. Now we know one of them is going to be the Crystron Impact, thanks to the effect of the Smiger, which drew for one of the cards for the archetype. So the Sage is going in. He gets the draw.
Not the correct egg, but still cards of consonants, still pretty good.
Yeah, which now forced AQ to discard one of his overlays. And there's going to be another alternative on the field. Also, fun fact, I didn't mention that I will skip any Blue Eyes animation, but alternative, that's a no skip for me. So Canada is still going to be a fusion here, putting down the alternative. And Crystal Impact, which is chaining, will bring back the Canadian. And a Smiger on the field. Alright, so he's gonna go for the Thizeren here. Banishes it to search for a monster, add it to the hand.
He's gonna go double Abyss Dweller beatdown here.
Interesting,
I mean,
probably.
No Popolven. Like, that Rosenix would be beefy with 2 Abyss Dwellers out there.
True, true. So now it all depends on the cards that are going to be set on their side. And also summons the Rosenix. There's, I guess, a way for lethal, but it's not going to be easy unless there's a Forbidden Lance. Let's see. Alright, so the Karma Cut is going to be forcing, again, the effect of the Abyss Dweller. Honestly, I'm intrigued. He uses the Karma Cut on an Abyss Dweller out of all the monsters. I'm just wondering why he doesn't go for the Hogwoven here. Ah, because he has a second one. Oh my god. Okay.
I'm guessing he was hoping he wouldn't use the effect.
Yeah,
I
pretty
think
much.
he was kind of debate him a little bit.
No, the Abyss Dweller still will be efficient because it stops the stones, and Melo only has an alternative. Oh. Okay, he's using the effect. If he topped Sage, AK will have this very difficult. And he did. The Mad Lad did it.
Man, when Blue Eyes, when they're drawing the cards they need, they are so hard to deal with.
That is true. And now just has to go for the Spirit Dragon. And that is going to be such a strong impact here because there's the idea where you will be able to control the effects from the grave. So AQ is not going to have this easy at all due to the spirit on the field. Unless you maybe have a Book of Moon, I guess.
Even if he had the book, I think Spirit Dragon just dodges at that point and he goes into Azure.
Yes, indeed. That as well. But even if you like move to the Azure, like the good thing is you will be able to play your cards in the grave. And AQ needs to be able to use Self of Fear because it is going to allow him to get another monster on the field and ideally have a Sideshow on the field. Side Tree or even Ryan. Although I do think since he's playing Crystal Impact, he only plays one of these 2 tuners.
Are both of them limited to 2? I forget
Yes.
the Crystron limits.
Yeah, for Crystron actually the limitations are semi-limited to 2 for Crystron Side Tree, Crystron Ryan, which are tuner 2, level 2 and 3 respectively, and the Crystron Impact. Yeah.
I wonder if he's playing the level 1 then.
I think he must. On the current Crystron deck list, you must play the level 1s. So he does have 3, but they're in the deck still. Also, the Spirit coming here to stop the Self-Near. Yeah. I do think it's gonna be game at that point. Gets back the Blue Eyes, puts Azure in attack, and that's gonna be GG.
Yeah, this is way donezo.
Yeah, exact. And YGL is finally going to be taking the lead though, and that's gonna be 5-4. Melo currently on a streak though.
That misplay in that water match really is hurting right now.
Yeah, for sure. They could have kept the vanilla water, I'd say, or like the classic build for water. Because controlling with the crystal and water version, I think it's it's harder in general. It's harder. But let me just check if they have announced repeat. I do think they go for the second deck, so let's check this out.
They didn't
And I did a right click, and I forgot that the right click actually puts you back on the previous menu. This is a thing in Duel Links.
We are seeing an Alexis Rhodes here, gentlemen.
Oh my god. What is this? Is this gonna be Megalith? Don't tell me. What is that? Vendred? I'm so curious. And there's also Master of Rights too. Oh my god. Megalith! Let's go! Megalith in Team Wars! Yes! That's a W. Oh my god. I'm gonna love watching this. It's gonna be very interesting here. No, here the main goal is what AQ is gonna want is to get a knock at the end and have a better in hand. And if you have such kind of setup, it can be insanely good against the field of a Blue Eyes, because if there's the end of a main phase, you can force and destroy cards in your opponent's field. So no, it doesn't seem the case, but he's still not having a bad field. He's gonna be able to take time. And the main thing is he drew Emergence thanks to the Haggith. Cards of Consonance immediately on the side of Mellow. Alright, setting 2 cards after the Cause of Consonance is going to be good for Mellow. And the thing is, he's now probably going to get, yeah, gets this Dragon Spirit of White, which is going to banish the Emergence. Yes, indeed. And cannot use the Emergence though, because he didn't do more Ritual Summons. So that's going to be a big penalty for AQ here. Yeah, I think that was a break here. He cannot do anything. That's gonna hurt.
You seem like you know this Megalith deck way better than I do.
Yeah. The thing is, what you mainly want if you're playing Megalith for turn 1, you need to get the Senju of Thousand Hand. It just allows you so much combos. And same for Benten, because you get to draw against some rituals. And the goal is you want to get to fill up the graveyard, but he wasn't able to do anything. Like anything at all. Honestly, I'm still happy to see Megalith, but with this hand, it's really going to hurt Stellatrey, sadly. That's a break I've never seen before.
Man, after this nice start, this is going south very quickly for Stellar Trace.
Yeah, they really have it tough, and they have to find a way to deal with this. Honestly, I still think Megalith. The thing is, I don't know if in such meta it will be interesting to send the deck. I think it does have chances, but that will be like a subject of discussion at that point. Because you want to send it against decks that don't really rely on so much like Spell Trap, I guess. But like they do have some very difficult matchups most of the time. So was it a good thing to have a Megalith, for example, finding Blue Eyes, or even put it in the lineup? I'd say if you put one, it's worth a try, but I'm still unsure if it is like a good decision to send a Megalith in such meta. I will say no, personally.
I think if you're gonna have a Megalith in your lineup, I think you start the match with it.
Honestly, I'd say yes. There has been like some teams that started sometimes with Megalith. But I think it's more interesting in the end game.
I mean, if you have a lineup that baits out the right decks, like I could agree with that. But like if you don't have a main purpose for it, in your like the main body of your lineup after the opening combo, I kind of think it could potentially just be a deck that kind of cripples your lineup a little bit with what you're sending into other decks.
Exactly.
But now we'll see if they have any other counters prepared for Blue Eyes, like...
Because they do need to stop the deck, actually. They really need to stop that Blue Eyes, which is in a 5-win streak. Counting the DC, of course, as well. But honestly, letting through a Blue Eyes... If you let a Blue Eyes, generally you have like the rest of the war very hard. But it also depends if we will see YGL maybe throwing the war, who knows. A lot of events could still happen. Alright, so they went in. Let me just change the scene. And let's go in. And we're gonna have AK replacing AQ.
Opting for what looks like a mirror match. Monka S.
That's something I have no idea what to say. I'm not gonna lie.
That means they're not too confident in their other decks that they have behind it.
Exact. Alright, the first turn is still gonna go for AK, which can be pretty good though. But it depends, he needs the back row right now. No back row. So only 2 Blue Eyes on the field?
If Mello has a good enough hand, he can clear that board easy peasy.
Exactly. I think even a Twin Burst will be very solid here as well.
Well, kind of what I was thinking, like if he could alternative and go into Vermilion.
Yes, exactly. The alternative Vermilion combo is the one you want to go in general for lethal. Alright, so starting off with the Sage.
And he did search the other stone. I wonder if he is either going for it or has it.
And he does have the Ancient. Also gets the alternative on the field.
I'll just opt for Spirit Dragon here.
Interesting. So he will just take time like that. Okay.
I mean, I think if he would have Vermilioned, it would have bought him a little time to, you know, set up even further and do some damage. Because 2 of the Blue Eyes would have been in the graveyard for AK.
Yeah. Which pretty much is like a nice slowdown for him, unless there's like another Blue Eyes in the hand of AK. But I still think due to the back row that Melo has, yeah, instant Karma Cut as well.
I think this is just over, boys.
I second that. What can I say? Karma Cut. Karma Cut in speedrunning. Man, I'm every day talking about speedrun, and mainly seeing like clips sent to Glad Jonas, which is a channel that like compiles like many clips of like speedruns and all, fails and all that, even karma moments. Always fun. Always funny to watch.
Like soft, like are you talking like when games soft lock on people, or just moments where they just get bad RNG?
Yeah, there's these moments. I think karma is generally like not soft luck, but I do think I've seen some karma moments where indeed the game soft locks.
Like I've seen some pretty funny moments in speedruns where it's like the run just ends because of like either just some very bad RNG, or the game
Yeah.
soft locks on them. Like they find a new way to soft lock the game, and it's like,
Yeah, when this
no.
happens, it's so funny. Alright, only one set. And we have a 20 cars on top on the side of AK, which makes me wonder what deck is it?
It's another
Another
Luna
Luna
Light.
But this time it's on the side of Stellar Trays, though. Ooh, that's gonna be a nice destruction. It's only a Sage.
That Blue Eyes hand.
Oh my
Oh.
god. Instant Ultimate Dragon. What is this going to be? It's gonna be a Twin Burst. There's no way. Yeah, Twin Burst. I was like, if he goes for the Neo Ultimate Blue Eyes, I was like, if this ever happens, that will be too dirty. Though, this is still going to be dirty because, you know, it vanishes the fusion. Just like that. And passes the turn as well. Only 2 cards in hand of AK.
Man, he turned kind of a bad situation into one that's not too bad.
That's true.
Just switching him to defense here. I mean, honestly, like, couldn't the Blue Eyes just sit in defense for the rest of the game and deck out the Luna Light player?
He could. That's actually true. He could play way patient and just go for the deck out if he wants.
Well, he doesn't even have to do anything. Twin Burst can't be destroyed. Oh, I suppose there could be some spider shenanigans from the other player.
Yeah. Although I do think, you know, talking about this, there's a way for AK, since he's playing Lunalite, to force the this Cyber Twin Dragon to be in attack position with 0 attack, and you need quite the setup for that. You need the Butterfly Xyz, which will change the position, put it in attack, make a fusion, reduce the monster to 0 attack, and I'd say have the Saber Dancer on the field, and that will be enough for GG. But
Blue
the
Eyes
thing
players-
is... Oh, save.
Well, the Blue Eyes using cards of consonance, though, tells me they're definitely not going for deck out.
That's for sure. But yes, as I mentioned, the thing is, he will want to get some nice karma cuts at that point, because if the Xyz passes through and changes the position of the Cyber, the Twin Burst, that will be lethal for AK. Although this time, by the looks of it, AK could go for deck out, if he can, of course. But I don't think he has it. And also going for the synchro here. Gonna be a spirit.
I'm gonna start to burn through them hand traps, it looks like. Like, pretty much every attack that Blue Eyes does is gives D-draw, except for the level 1 exceed.
That is true. He goes ahead. He's not afraid. He's like, I have a good field. I'm not scared of your destiny draw. Oh my god. Divine Wrath. GG.
Oh, holy damn. This Blue Eyes deck is just running train on Stellar Trace right now.
That is true.
I mean, the unfortunate part is it had no business even being at this point for Stellar Trace. Like, I hate going back to it, but that water totally had that game on lockdown.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that they decided to play that way because it shows in such kind of format. It really shows that one play that is bad sometimes, you know, it can, I'd say, put down the moral of the team, and they just have to try to fight against or just tell themselves that they have to do better next pause. And if I want to say something, I did have the experience actually recently because with my own clan we've been playing in Latam Wars, which is a similar kind of league, and the morale really matters a lot. Like you have to somehow motivate your players despite, like, you know, some misplays that can happen, such as what happened between the Blue Eyes and Water. But you have to tell yourself that it should be always a door for thoughts on how you can get better and avoid such mistakes. So to me, it's like never give up on such mistakes, because just learn from them and you will be fine. And also make sure to give positivity to the member of your clan, or else it's just worthless doing the war. And let me just see. Yeah. Okay, so the next player is already in. I just see 5 members on top right, so I know the last player is in, so it's gonna be Dodoro. So let's see what Dodoro has as decks though. Are decks that can defeat Blue Eyes or not? We'll see.
I mean, this is the bottom of the barrel, so I don't think the decks are the best choices.
Yeah, I second that. Alright, second turn for Mellow again, and first turn for Dodoro. Is this a Lunalight? I do think it is a Lunalight.
I would agree with that. I don't see what else Yami Yugi's playing 20 cards right now. Or, I mean, it could be Gaia, but there's the tanky.
True.
Gaia definitely doesn't play tanky.
Yeah. Only 2 decks do play it. It's either Lunalight or Yosenju. And passes the turn. Dodoro is going to take the time here. Okay. And now the cause of consonants on the side of Mellow. Alright, gets the classic setup here, the Sage after the cast of consonants. Oh my god. 3 set cards.
And we know he's playing Karma Cuts and Divine Wraths.
Yeah. Dodoro has it very tough to deal against. Oh, okay. He has a Gongato.
That's the one that stops 1 attack per battle phase, right?
Yes, indeed. So I'm very surprised. Imagine if this is like, I don't know, a Lunalight Pendulum? That will actually be nuts.
Something tells me that's the only pendulum he's playing.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people do still run this card, but it's mainly just to like stop some attacks. So you only run as a Pendulum card Gongato in the Lunalight deck, but who knows if he maybe builds a Pendulum Lunalight. I know, for example, that with Pendulum there's a lot of stuff to try. I, for example, tried with Thunder Dragon's Pendulum. There is a way for it, but it's not that simple. But it's actually good because if you use scales between 4 and 7, then you can special summon level 5 and 6. And that's a door open for Thunder Dragon players, because you mainly run level 5 and 6. But let's see, so summoning the stone here. And I guess I was gonna go for a synchro using the stone. Or he... Actually, no, he could go for another thing, which is the Xyz. He could go for the Xyz with rank 1 if he wanted. Alright, so he's going for the synchro here.
He's definitely gonna have to play it slow with that pendulum out there, though.
Yes, exactly. The pendulum is allowing Dodoro so far to be in a good spot because he can negate one attack per battle. And that card is going to matter so much.
Well, it's about to get spirited away.
That is true.
Oh, he must
Or
have
not.
it in hand. He has it in hand.
Yeah, he has to summon it at some point as well. He cannot let the Gongato on the field. Because if there's a second one on the side of Dodoro, then Dodoro is going to be in such a good spot.
Do they stack? Like, if he has two out there, can each of them stop and attack?
Good question. I think you can like use the first negate with the first Gongato and the second one for the second attack. So I do think yes, they can stack. Because it doesn't say you can only use the effect of Gongato once per turn. It says once per turn though.
Oh, he's gonna Vermilion it.
Yeah, still gonna be good to go for Vermilion, destroying that nice Gongato here.
Alright, how many hand traps do you have, Dodoro?
And also going for the ultimate dragons when you have 3 set cards. Okay. Oh, I think he does have the setup anyway. I do think there's already the Divine Wrath in hand of Melodo.
Oh, 3 sets? I think there's one for sure.
Yeah. And yes, indeed, that's gonna be the... It's not yet at the end, it's not, because Sphere Kuribo is not activated in the damage step, so if he has another one, it could pass by.
Oh my goodness.
Really goes through. Melo going on a streak here, what can I say? He's spreading blood on the field. 94. And I do think at that point they're going to go with the last deck on the side of Stellar Trace.
I don't think you rely on Lunalight for 6 wins,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Unless you're like, well, there's going to be so much Harpy and all. Sarcasm. LMAO sarcasm. I'll say another Yumi Yugi here. $20 cards again, and I'm seeing this is a different sleeve.
I was like, there's definitely no repeat announced.
Yeah. Don't tell me this is a second Lunalight though. And there's also one set again on the side of Melo. Oh no! We changing stuff, it's gonna be Gaia.
I honestly might have led with Gaia out of this pair.
I actually have some tough thoughts on why they didn't send the Gaia earlier, but since it is Gaia, it could give them a comeback possibility. And by the looks of the field of YGL, I do think there's This is going to be a good field for Dodoro, and Melo is going to have a difficulty. And
Oh my goodness, if he
That's
plays
such
the
a good
piercing spell, this is over.
yeah. Doesn't play it, but it's still going to be some solid damage here.
Oh, he's gonna flip him. This could still be game.
Oh, true. Oh my god, that's indeed going to be game. The Blue Eyes is finally stopped. Honestly, it was crazy. 8 wins for the Blue Eyes. Finally he gets the loss, and that's going to be still a point for Dodoro, so now they got 9-5.
Now we finally get to see what his second deck is.
Yeah, that is true.
So I'm going to assume it's a Harpies deck, just based on kind of what I'm thinking.
Yep. Alright, so now I do think a lot of people could also question concerning Gaia and Wipe, is it allowed in a post-ban list format? And that is because the skill only requires you to send a monster from your hand to the deck, and then you can actually use the skill. So one thing Team Wars allowed is to ask the player to reveal what they sent to the deck, so show a proof with a screenshot. Alright, first turn is gonna go for Dodoro, and he is going to be against a 21 card Melo deck. I think it's a mirror match.
I think it's a mirror match too. Like 21 cards, I don't think Luna Lights be playing 21 cards.
Unless they do love these hand traps. Which could be possible though.
I mean, yeah, and Thunder Dragon's 21 cards seems like pretty light too. So I mean, it's definitely got to be a mirror match.
Yes, indeed. Nah, it's not gonna be DDD. I mean, I guess you can see some players sending DDD in like more little leagues. Like I remember in Latam Wars there was like some teams sending DDD. But I don't know if there's like any teams in Team Wars that will have the guts to send such deck.
Well, there's probably a couple, but
Maybe. I mean, we've seen Stellar Trace sending Megalith, which really took me by surprise, to be honest. And instant Book of Moon on the side of Melo.
The Megalith was definitely spicy, but I personally think they should have started the match with that if they were gonna play it. But
yeah,
that's neither here nor there.
I do think like you can still like make some workaround using Megalith against some of the decks, but I do think sending it against Blue Eyes was not. I mean, it could have worked if he had a good hand as well. So technically, that wasn't a wrong moment to send the Megalith actually. And also by the fact that it was the second deck of AQ, so still was fine.
It was paired with the Crystron deck, right?
Yes. I think the pair was like the only issue, I'd say. Because Megalith you can combine with another kind of deck instead. So for example, let's say you're like sending Megalith and they counter you with Harpy, you can like back it up with Thunder Dragon, for example. Or even Fire King if you want. That will be something that can be interesting. Alright, so far Melo is getting the plays here and will destroy or not. Yes. So the field spell is going to be destroyed, but the Treacherous is coming through and that's gonna do some damage. but not enough to stop the plays from
Dragon
Melo.
Mirror.
That is a strong top deck.
I don't see how Melo loses this game.
Yeah, me too. There's so much difference between the cards. No, Dodo could get as well the Dragon Mirror, and if he somehow has it, I'd say has a way to deal with Melo.
I don't even think Dragon's Mirror does it.
I will honestly say yes, because if, for example, the champion on the side of Melo acts first against Dodoro,
Melo's never gonna activate his effect before Dodoro.
Yeah,
He's got more attack, he can wait.
that as well. Also depends on like what's the set card he has. So he's allowing the field spell to be destroyed as well. And says the card. This is a game of patience here. Does Melo want to destroy the card or not? That's gonna be the main issue for him.
He can't though. He's
Yeah.
always. I think Melo always waits for Dodoro to use his effect first.
He's gonna want to, because if he tries to use it, Dodoro just needs to use the effect and destroys his monster. So if Melo doesn't have a... If he doesn't have a Fiendish, I think that would be an issue. Oh my god, that was a Dragon Mirror as well. Unbelievable.
This is actually. Dodoro might have actually gotten the combination of cards he needed here.
Yeah. That's gonna matter so much. Banishes 2 monsters, the fusion and the odd one. And this is just to be able to keep the Curse of Dragonfire in case he wants to redo some fusion, so that's a very good thing. And that's gonna be very imposing because all he needs is attacking with the Sky Galloping Gaia. And that's gonna change the position of the Gaia.
Yeah, Dodoro actually wins here.
And now he's using it as that's not gonna work because the other one replies unless he has like a Forbidden Chalice or something, but to me Dodoro can win.
Dodoro literally had all the cards.
Oh no,
fuck.
not yet. The Book of Moon is actually going to be pretty efficient here. Oh my god.
Now Melo's golden.
Yep.
That was quite the crazy little turn there.
For
All
sure.
the players had exactly all the cards they needed to put the other player on the back foot there for a little bit.
Yeah. And there's also the boost again for the Gaia. And Dodoro is in a super important top deck situation, but any card he sets will be destroyed. And destroys it indeed with the effect.
He
And
plays a
second galloping.
spell.
Oh my god. Concentrating current. Oh my Jesus.
I like that.
That's a strong way to end the war.
That's some spice right there.
For sure. Well, that is it for the score. So that's going to be 10-5 against Stellar Trace. Congratulations to Yu-Gi-Oh! Game Live for taking the win in this war. Honestly, a lot of stuff happened. But that was very exciting though, because I knew that most of the teams, you know, they have like some spicy kind of lineup, and YGL do send a lot of times something like that, so I knew what I would be seeing at the beginning, sort of. And they're insanely confident actually to send Lunalight, you know, at the beginning of a war. But dang, the spies also sent on the side of Stellar Trace. Yep. Good war. And of course, good luck to both teams on the next wars. This was week 6, and they do have some more weeks to play through. I do think YGO will be able to sort of come back as well at some point.
Well, they're 4-2 now, aren't they?
Yes, exactly.
And that helped out their R&D quite a bit. 4-2, and they added 5 to their R&D.
Yeah, exactly. I think no, Stellar Trace is definitively out of like the way to go to playoffs. But there's one thing they can still do, which is defeat some other teams to block their possibility to reach playoffs. This is one thing that teams with low rank can do. So we've seen, for example, in the past season, Phoenix being able to defeat some big teams, and that really changed the state of the playoffs, for example.
Yep, and just preparing for next season, getting your, kind of your team's process down, what you do during the match, what you do to prepare for the match. Like, all that's really important stuff, like, especially in a league where, making lineups and counter picking is so important.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to end off the stream. So again, thank you so much, Sanouske, for the co-casting. Had a lot of fun with you, man.
Yep, no problem. Anytime I'm free, I'm definitely down to do it again.
Sounds good. I'm always open for like anybody to join. So yeah, for today's raid is gonna be a raid to a good friend of mine, Senpapi. And let me also do some shoutouts to some of the other streamers for the Duel Links team was. And to me, that is it. Thank you very much again for watching the war. And have a good day, evening, guys. And see you next time. Peace.